Hello, everyone. Junko Bodie here once again. Hey, going to talk to you today about something we call recovery. I've been getting a lot of comments, a bunch of emails about the video I just did on meatloaf, where folks were saying, "Hey, Junko, we didn't really get to see the recovery the way that we wanted to see it." And so, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do recovery two ways for sure, which is corners and street recovery. If I get time to do some individual number recovery, I'll do that as well. If not, I'll do that in a separate video later. Let's see how long this video runs because we can never tell how long it takes, to recover. So I want to make sure that I don't overpromise here and underdeliver. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do the corners and the streaks way to do recovery. And we're going to start out like oops, I don't know. I actually hit this by accident. We're going to start out like we were doing a six diamonds or a twin spines bet, or even like meatloaf, where we had, let's say, $8 and we got stuck on a couple of numbers here. So let's see, eight out there. Bum, bum, bum. Let's say that we were doing something where we had these two corners had missed a bunch of times, and we were down, let's say, about $64 now. Okay, so we were underwater, $64. We've got these two bets remaining. They're both at $8. What do we do once we get into recovery? Well, if we lost the $8 bet, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and add $1 to both bets. And so now the bets are at $9. So let's see how long it takes us to recover. Now, when you start a recovery, you're really moving from a team environment to an individual bet environment. So when we start playing a lot of my strategies, we're betting these strings of bets as groups, as team bets. Otherwise, we call them team bets. But when you get into recovery, these become more individualized. Like we'll play as much as we need to recover that $64 plus whatever profit we want to make. Okay, so right there we had a 24. We didn't hit anything, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to increase the bet by $1 again. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and spin. Alexa, turn off. Well, my Alexa has a mind of its own. It just jumps on whenever it wants to. Okay, so there's a five. I don't. Okay, that hits one of our bets. So great. So we were down $64. We're up $52 now. So we're still down about $14. So now that I've hit that bet in recovery, I can lower this bet a little bit too. So I'm going to take this bet now, probably to. I'm just going to take it back to the eight where we started and we'll spin again. And the idea now is to recover that $64 that we lost plus the profit. Right now we have recovered $52 of it. Okay, so let's go ahead and spin and see how long it takes us. Now we're down to one bet, and whenever you get down to one bet, it's scary because you're only covering four numbers. And even with an 8-to-1 payout, you got to be careful about how fast you escalate your bets because you could be in this for a long time, as we all know, right? This is the fear: is that we're going to get caught in one of these bets that never comes. That's the fear in roulette, right? So we got to make sure that and a number not coming is more likely with one or two numbers than it is with four. But it still can be a long time even with four. So let's see how long it takes us here to recover. So I'm going to go ahead and add two more to the corner, and we'll keep wagering. And I'm being very mindful of what I want to win and what the bets are. Okay. So right now I'm just kind of slowly increasing, making sure that I have enough money out there to get to the goal that I want to get to. There's a four, another miss. Okay, so I mean, we obviously have none of these numbers on the board, and there was none of them when we started making these bets. So we're about 17 or 18, maybe 19 spins into have missing 36. This number right here. So let's go back up. We're going to take this up to $15, and so I look at 15. What is 15 times 8? Right, 15, 30, 45, 60. It's 120. We're up 8. You know. But minus 64, so we're down $72. So if we get a hit here, we're going to be just fine on our profit level, and that's how we're measuring what we put on that bet. Okay, so there's a 30. I think that misses us. It does. Okay, so I'm just going to continue to go up. be very calm about it. I got a $2,000 bankroll generally, so I feel pretty comfortable here, even at being at -$7, having this amount of money out there. There's 18. There's a miss. Okay, gonna rebet again. Let's go up a couple dollars. Go to 18. Okay, we got $20 out there total. Pays 160 if we win. There's a 19. Okay, not good enough. So let's see, at 160. Yeah, we're still good. So I'm just gonna leave the bet alone. Didn't increase there. Don't have to increase on every spin. 5. That's a miss. Okay. Okay, now I'm gonna just from a kind of a psychological play. Now I'm gonna just start adding some numbers in around it. These are all the same bet, just different ways to play them. So this is a way for me to add $4 and feel good about it. Okay, there's an 11, still no hit. Okay, we're up around 20 spins now without having hit 30, at least 20. It could be 30 or 40 for all we know. Okay, there's 20. I just added $4 there. 22. See if we can get a hit. Not yet. Almost gotten that 32. That would have been a good one. Okay, I'm just gonna rebet and spin again. I'm not gonna add anything to the bet here. Keep the bet smaller. 30 again. Not quite. I like 30s, but not that 30. Okay. I'm just gonna go up $1 across the board here on the individual bet. Let's spin. 33. That's the winner. Beautiful. So it took us a while, but we got to 256 there. Now we had $64 in losers, so we ended up making about 58 bucks. I think is what the number is. So we were positive 58 in that recovery scenario. That's kind of how recovery works. And I want to go to you a different way. Let's just say we start from the beginning here. I'm going to write down 64 because I want to know that number. Okay, so I'm going to start here and just put these bets out like this. Okay, this is sort of like how meatloaf works. And let's say that I want to win all these numbers, all these corner bets, all 6 of them. So start from the beginning, take them up as we go, and I'll show you how we do recovery after we get past the 8. Okay, if we get past 8. Okay, so here we go, rebet. Now, when we're playing meatloaf, when we get a profit, we're done, and we hardly ever get to $8. What was that last number, 27? But when we do, I'm going to show you how we handle them. 29, okay, that's a win. Takes off that one. Rebet, leave the bets up there the same. And again, the idea is to win all of these 6 bets, which we never have to do. But I'm only showing you to demonstrate that even if you don't have to do it, it's still doable if you're patient enough. And again, we started with 64. We're at 102. There's 31. Okay, there's another hit. Great. I'm going to take that off. And I'm going to leave the bets the same over there. Spin. Started with 64. We're at 118. There's a 22. That's another win. Okay. Rebet. Take that bet off. Not raising the bets because I'm winning. If I were losing, I'd be raising the bets, but I don't have to. Okay, we're at 138 now. We started with 64. We'd be long gone if we were playing this just to win the meatloaf strategy. But I'm demonstrating, even if you don't play it that way, and you played every one of these individually as corner bets, you instead of playing it as a team bet, you still would be fine. Now we've been a little bit lucky so far. Let's get a little unlucky here for a few minutes. There's a 4. That's a miss. Okay. All right. I'm just going to leave it alone. I don't need to do anything. There's 28. That's a miss. Okay. Good. We get some misses now. Let's just play them out here. Now look over here at the history board, folks. You see any of these numbers on the board? You do not. So it's been at least 10 spins since any of these numbers have hit. And now we got 8 numbers. So, which means that we should be hitting this every, once every what? What's 8 into 38? Just over 4 times. We bet that's a miss. Okay. It's going to increase by 2 here and spin. There's a 6. That didn't help us. Good. That's what I want to see. I want to see it take a while to recover these. So we're at $10 per bet now. So we're over the $8. There's a 15. That's a miss. Okay. He's going to rebet and spin. We started with 64. We're at 98 now, but I think we just hit one. We did. Okay. So we pick up $70 there. Take these all off, and then we'll see where we are. Okay. So here's where we are. Down here, we started with 64. We're at 168. Again, we'd be done, but we're still going to chase this last one. Okay. So which right now has $10 on it, and we're going to stay on the 10 for now. It's just a display of patience is what we're talking about here. Okay, that was right next to 10. We almost hit it. Okay, spin again. There's a 30 right next to the 11. Almost hit it again. And it's going to go up 2 here. Then we're at 6. Miss. We were as high as what 140 something, 150 something, whatever. Let's see what it takes us to get back to that and exceed it. It's going to go ahead and add $2 to the bet here. There's a 0. No good. And it's always the last bet or two that gets you. This is where you're always going to struggle. This is why we like to hit and run. We want to get our wins early and get, like I said, I like to use the word kill zone. The early bets, those team bets, get our wins, get a profit, and get out. So we don't get into a tug of war like this. But even if you did, you can be smart enough to wiggle your way out of it if you take your time with the recovery. Okay, another 0. Okay. Getting some unpleasant numbers now. That's good for our demonstration. Keep it going here. Going to go 2 on each of these now. I'm going to get a couple spins out of this. There's a 5. That isn't going to help us. Okay. Rebet. Going to go up $5 on the corner. We've got a total bet of $28 out there now. We're still up 61 for the session. 36. That doesn't help us. Okay. Here's where I go back to those $1 bets again. And I'm doing this by feel, guys. There's no specific betting progression here. I'm doing math in my head, playing this in a way that I feel comfortable, right? So when I'm talking about recovery, I'm saying do the math. You're down uh, $1 plus $64. You're down $65. Make sure whatever it is that you have up here is enough to cover that $65 plus your profit. Okay, here we go. Now we were all the way up to, like I say, 160 or something. So we probably want to recover that too, and we probably will. Okay, let's keep going. Just keep betting. Been like 30 more 30 or 35 spins now since we've hit these 4 numbers. We're way past due, obviously. This is what you call a losing streak. what it looks like. We all know what it looks like. Um, but the question is, when do you define it as a losing streak? Is it when you lose 5 in a row? Is it when you lose 10? You know, me, it's a real bad losing streak when you get near the end of your bankroll. 31, it's not a hit. Okay. Okay, we're starting to struggle now a little bit. Okay. I want to make sure that I've got enough money out there. So I've got how much out there? Let's see here. Oh, come on, darn it. $40. So 40, 80, 161, like $240 worth of payoff. I'm 107 in the hole. Yeah, I probably need to go up another $10. I'm going to add 10 right there. Okay, so I got a $50 bet out there now. So for the first time, really, now we're starting to kind of get into some serious dollars. There's a 0. Okay. And I'm going to go up here a little bit. I want to make sure I got enough money out there. Don't want to hit and be short. That's the worst case scenario for me, is to get a hit and be short. 2. Okay. Plug in the zeros right now. Okay. Rebet. And do it again. Here we go. 19 right next to 8. 8 would have been better. Okay. And it's going to spin again here. I'm going to do some math after this if I have to. 2 again. Wow, getting a lot of repeats. Okay, so let's see where we are here. I at minus 357, so 400. Probably want to win 550. So I'm looking here now, and I have $70 out there. You know, 8 times 70 is let's see, 56. Is that right? So $560. Or 560. I want to win about that. So I think I'm okay right there with that bet. Let's spin here. Like I said, with recovery, even if you just get back to even, it's a win, right? There's a 4. That's a miss. Okay. All right, here we go. Now we're really starting to get serious, and it's been 40 over, well over 40 spins, maybe closer to 50, since we've got a winner with these numbers. There's another 0. I always say you can't have a losing streak unless you have a bunch of zeros, and we've got a bunch so far. Okay, I'm going to put another 10 out there. Let's go. 517. I need to hit something here in the next 10 spins or so. There's 14. Close, but no cigar. Rebet. Here we go. Let's spin here. Keep it going. Write it out. 10. There's our winner. Finally. Good Lord, that took an enormous amount of time. So we're at 18 minutes on the video. We hit 960 there. So when we look up, now we're at 343. Not only do we recover, but we got ourselves a nice profit in the process. So that's how recovery on corners works, sort of. When I say it's not easy, you can see why it's not easy. You got to hang in there. And this is the only time that you really risk your bankroll when you're playing any one of my systems, is when you get to the recovery. But the thing is that in my system, 98% of the times, you're never going to get to that because you saw all the opportunities that we had to take profit along the way. So we're taking the profits. We're not going to put ourselves in a scenario where we have one corner bet remaining that's really out of favor. That's the whole reason why I play hit and run gambling, is that I don't want to get into that one corner scenario or that one street scenario or those two number scenarios. Okay, so let's get to the streets now. I'm going to show you how recovery works on the street. Okay, let's go back here. So let's go to, come on back, baby. Come back to me. There we go. Let's do the streets now. And I'm just going to say, let's look out here. I'm just going to do the even street, just to pick one. And you guys all know this easy street strategy, right? And let's say, let's do it right from let's do it where we got down to, and let's see, let's Pick some numbers that are off the board. Let's see. I don't see one. Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9 are not there. Okay, there. I'm going to put $10 on 7, 8, 9. Let's see. 34, 35, 31, 32, 33. And well, let's see one more here. 20, 21, 20, or 19, 20, 21. There's 19. How about 22, 23, 24? Yeah, okay. So none of these numbers are in the history board, which means they've been missing for a while. And let's say on these three that we got to a $10 bet, and that's where we are now. So we're starting here with $343. Let's see how we recover on these three bets. And let's say that I want to win uh, all three of them. Let's go ahead and let's win all three of them. This is how it works. 15. Okay, that's a miss. So I'm going to keep going, rebet and spin. Remember, these bets pay 11 to 1. So they buy me an inordinate amount of time, a really ridiculous amount of time. Okay, there's two. So I didn't get a hit there. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to raise my bet by $2, up to 12 each. Then again, this is street recovery. There's 26. Okay, that didn't help us. It's going to go up $1 here. Probably it's going to go up $1 now each time until we get to $15. The idea is we started with 343. I want to make sure that when I get done, I got more than 343. Okay, there we go. Going to go up another $1 here. Again, these pay 11 to 1, so if you get $14 on it, you get a $140, $151. So there you go. That's a good hit. 30 is not a winner. Okay. So just keep going. You can see, now it's been at least 14 spins since these streets have come, and there's three numbers in a street. So, you got to feel good about it. Okay, 28's a miss. When I say good about it, I mean coming soon. Feel good about these coming soon. I'm going to go up $2 for a while until I get to 20, and then I'll rest for a couple of spins. Looking to get one hit here so I can see if I can reset my bet. For 27. Yeah, that's not a hit. So you can see these three streets are really out of favor right now. I'm going to go up to 18, and then I'll go to 20 on the next one. We need to. Started with 343. We're now at $70 after all these misses. There's a 17. Okay, that's a miss. Go to 20. There's 24. That's a win. Yay, we got a win finally. So one of the three streets is satisfied now. We're at 196, but that's a far cry from where we started. Okay, so I'm going to rebet here, and I'm going to take that street off. Oops. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to leave the other bets the same. So we've got $20 in each one. There's a 0. Okay. No win there. And here's where I can start going with the dollars again. And we'll start doing this. And this is me just having some fun, doing the bets a different way. But psychologically, when you have a $1 bet out there, you feel a lot better than when the other numbers get bigger. So there's a 12. Okay, that's a miss. Do it again. And then I'll rest for a spin after this, maybe 2. I've got plenty of money out there to get a nice profit. 33 is a hit. Yay. So we win 260 there. Now we're up 370. We started at 343. So you can see now that I can take these bets off, and if I were absolutely hell bent on winning this other street, okay, I just reduce it. Take it down to 10. Oh, let me just clear it all off. Gonna take it down to 10, and we start all over again. And it's been how many misses already on that street, right? So this is a great bonus for us, is to be able to start this bet all over again. Spin again here, and then we'll start adding some dollars in and some other things here on the street. We need 7, 8, or 9 are the numbers that we need. Rebet, rebet. Come on, there you go. And I'm gonna add $1 to each of these. Um, uh, Something that I'd like to do is add split bet on each side of that street. I do that a lot to help buy me more time. Like, let me just show you what it looks like. I would put a split bet here, 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 and a split bet here, here, and here. And I would do that instead of adding dollars to this row, just to help buy more time. I'm not going to do that today because I want to show you a pure recovery, but that's definitely viable and something that I actually encourage. There's a 10, and see, we would have hit that had we had a split bet there, but we didn't. So we didn't hit it. So we're still in recovery, in pure recovery. And it's been, like I said, it's been getting on to 40 spins or so at least since we've hit 7, 8, or 9. And there's an 8 right out. Speak of the devil, there it is. It hits us for 176. So we started with 343, and we're now at 500. So again, sometimes when you get deeper into these progressions, you make a lot more money because it took you so long to get there, and your bets are so large that you get a premium. So that I've shown you corners now. I've shown you streets. Let me do one quick number play. I want to show you the number play because I think that's kind of important. Let's say, for example, I'm just going to pick 3 verticals here. Let's say I'm going to look at numbers that are not on the board. 3, 6, 9, or 12. None of those are on the board, so I'm going to pick those. So these numbers are out of favor. 3, 6, 9, and 12. Let me pick one more. The 25, 28, 31, 34. There's a 28. Nothing in the middle down at the bottom. Okay, so here we go. So I'm going to say these numbers have been at least 10, and most likely a lot more than that, uh, out of favor since the last spin. So let's just pursue these as a group of 4 to start, and then we'll see how we do. We started with $343 here. I'm sorry, $500. Started with 500. Okay, so that a rebet. So luckily we hit it. We hit one right out of the chute. Okay, that's just lucky. We take that one off, and now we're just going to play the other one. Now we'll play until we hit one of these 4 numbers. It's just like playing a corner, except for you're playing it in a vertical now instead. You're playing it in this middle section, 4-number vertical. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just spin again. We started with 500. We're at 528. Again, playing recovery, 15. But we're playing recovery from the beginning here. Usually when we start recovery, you'd have $8 or $10 out there already. But it's the same concept. You're just taking your time and doing math to create the result that you want. You don't start doubling and dumping a bunch of money on these numbers. You take your time. You be smart about it. And we know each of those numbers paid $70 now. We started at 500. We're already at 516. Even if we were underwater, we would just measure the number that we needed. Right? Right. I'm just gonna, because our numbers are so low, I'm gonna bump them up a little here because I feel really good about hitting this vertical here shortly. And the same thing that we did when I was showing you the street, when we had all those numbers on, you can do here too. You can put on each side of these on the split some chips to help offset what you have to put here. Okay. And gain these extra numbers to help you until you can hit one of these 4 numbers. That's called hedging. And I'll do that a lot of times when I get down to my last bet. Okay, beautiful. All right, gonna rebet and spin again. Remember, these bets pay 35 to 1, and you only have 4 of them out there, so you don't have to increase them every spin. You can get away with increasing them every second or third or fourth spin, really, depending on how much you have to make up. And again, it's a function of math. You can do this too, where you just hit split bets in between them to slow the betting process down further. 24. Go ahead, and I'm just going to spin again. Again, we started with 500. We're at 458 now. There's a 20. That's in the middle, right next to 32, but not the 1. Okay. So I'm going to, again, just increase my bet here. We're right at 30 minutes on this video, and I wanted to keep this video under 30 minutes, but because we decided to do the individual bet here, this is going to run a little bit longer. There's a 10. Okay. Rebet. And again. 28. Not it. Okay, so now we're around 30 spins or so since we've hit this vertical. Let's see here. 27, not it. Okay. Gonna rebet and go up $1. And then I don't hit here. We'll keep the bet the same for the next spin. We got plenty out there. 2. Okay, not too far away from 35. Rebet and spin. 15. Okay, that's a no. Rebet. Gonna go up 1 here. After 6, I'd pretty much just start going up $2 increments. So let's see here. We're at 500 start. There's a 20 again, right next to 32. Okay. Isn't that the thing you always see when you have a streak? It's always hitting right next to the number that you need. You see that a lot, right? And you're going to see it a lot here. And that's when you just have to realize that that's just part of the process. It's going to hit your number eventually, and you're going to going to get some false hope along the way, but we just stay after it. Okay. I keep the number the same. Rebet and spin. We started with 500. We're now at 266. So we need 250 or better. And there's 35. So there's a win. And it took us a long time to get there for 4 numbers. Every 4 numbers into 38. So we should hit a 4 number stretch about every 8 or 9 spins. And here we are going 30 or 40 spins. So you're way past your time. And people say, well, this could go forever. Well, it can't go forever. It's a finite number of spins that it can go. You just have to kind of manage it. And I always say that if I'm playing a 4 number vertical, I'm going to say I want to be able to last at least 60 or 70 spins. Okay, there we lasted 30 or 40 spins, and we got our number, and we were still under $10 on our bet per number. So it turned out okay. We ended up getting $570. We picked up another $70 in that recovery, which is just fine. So, guys, that's how recovery works. I showed it to you with the corners. I showed it to you with the street. And then finally, I showed it to you on the individual numbers. Um, there's a bunch of other ways to do recovery, depending on what you're playing. And again, when you're playing my strategy, when you're playing corners, you're playing 6 diamonds and twin spines and 4 plus C and Tupelo honey. And when you're playing the streets, you're playing easy street and 3-3-3, and also Tupelo honey has some street elements to it. And then on the numbers, you're playing 10 to win or 8 is enough or the green neighbor strategy, right? So these things they all correspond to the strategies that I'm giving you in these various videos and in the book. So I hope that will help you with recovery. I'm always open to answer questions. I know you guys I could tell you have a ton of questions about recovery. Feel free to email me at junkobodie@gmail.com. I'll do my best to email to you, or put something if it's going to be of a reasonable length in the comments below, and I'll try to respond there. Okay, remember there's two types of people in the casino. There's professionals and tourists. Don't be a tourist. Rock the day.